Hello, beautiful souls. Super excited to be here today. If you're just catching us, make sure you click on, here, tap, 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 click on the video so you can hear me. I'm super excited. I just have had some amazing calls today. I've been coaching, I've been having discovery calls and talking to amazing women that are going through so much and some of them are starting to heal that I'm coaching and working with. Some of them that I've been on the phone with today to see about working with them. Oh my gosh, I can see so much pain that they're needing to heal on a deep soul level layer. And so I wanted to share with that topic being healing through truth. Healing through truth. And what does that mean? So many of you in here are spiritual. Many of you in here are dabbling in a few things. I see some of my clients jumping on. Hello, hello. And you have probably heard the term chakras, right? Chakras are an energy system that works throughout our body. There are many, 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 many chakras, but I go in depth and detail about the 7 main chakras. And so I just wanted to show you a little cheat sheet that these are your chakras. This is what they look like. They're spinning vortexes. And not only are they on the front parts of the body, but they're also coming out the back, and the crown chakra goes up and the root chakra goes down. So I'll show that image one more time. This is something that I actually share with my clients in my coaching programs. And so these are the 7 main chakras, and healing through truth. What I mean by that is really getting to understand those things that trigger us in our adult life. Where is the root? What is that coming from? Why is it triggering you? What is it that either happened to you in your early stages of life, younger stages of life, maybe childhood, maybe your early 20s, maybe even later on in life? Usually, typically they're early on in life, or it could even be something that has been passed down in your family lineage. Like maybe it was something that happened to mom or maybe grandma, and then this has passed down through the generations, especially if you see a cycle that happens. Grandmother had this happen. My mother had this happen. Now I'm having this happen. Like if there's a pattern, more often than not, there is something somewhere that we need to go in and really see what the root is. Now, when I talk about truth, the truth is what was the cause. The truth is getting to the root of why this is happening in your life. Because these energy centers called chakras, they're vortexes that are swirling around in our etheric body. And they're like a perception bucket, if you will. So when something traumatic happens in your life, your perception, right? Everyone has their own perception. Your perception of how it happened, how it made you feel, how everything lands in that bucket. Now that bucket just stays there until we do something with it. And so if something happened to us when we were age 8, and for the rest of our life, we've never known how to heal it. We've never known how to transmute that into love and light. And it's just stayed there, and it's caused this energy center to constrict, right? And not be open, not be flowing, not be in the flow. It's out of balance. Then when something similar bumps up in life, when something similar feels the same way, smells the same way, if it's a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? If it has any resemblance of pushing the buttons, pushing the trigger of what landed in that perception bucket, guess what's going to happen? Defensiveness, projection, reaction, depression, retraction, illness. All these kinds of crazy things can happen when that is being triggered and pushed on, and many times we don't even realize what it is. Many times we're just going throughout the day, somebody pushes our button, we react, blah, and we don't even know why, right? We just know it didn't feel good. And maybe you've even heard someone in your life say, wow, that was like really overreacting. What the heck was that about? That is what they're talking about, even though they might not even really understand. So if you were in an abusive marriage and you get out of that marriage and you get into a new marriage and the marriage is wonderful, but one day your spouse pushes a trigger point for you of something that you did not heal from that first marriage, and all of a sudden, whoo, you're a different person for a few moments. This is why. This is because something landed in that perception bucket, something landed there and stayed there because you never healed from it, right? And many of my videos I talk about, we're stuffers and we stuff that down. We don't want to deal with it. We put it in a little box and we put it in our little red wagon and we carry that red wagon around, right? Similar thing, just a different way of talking about it. And so if you're not healing those things, and you're adding more things, maybe you're in a toxic environment, toxic relationship, maybe it's at work, maybe it's in a spousal environment, maybe it's a parental environment, whatever that is. And if you're constantly not dealing with all of these things and you're stuffing them down and not getting to the truth of what's going on and healing it, what happens is this low vibrational frequency gets stuck in your body because it's stuck in that etherical part of the body, right? And then your body starts saying, hey, heal me, hello, I don't feel good, I need some attention. And more often than not, the body isn't necessarily the thing that needed the healing to begin with, but because it's manifested and gone on for so many years, that's when the body manifests into some type of dis-ease within the body. And for me, it was breast cancer. And that is what spurred me onto the track that I am at now. Sherry says, so guilty of this and I feel stuck. Oh, right? But you don't have to be stuck, right? We've got, Crystal says, all meat. We don't have to be stuck, right? We can figure out how to heal this stuff. We've got tools, we've got exercises, and we can work on that. And it just takes time and it takes your due diligence to do the work. And my clients that come in, I've got a few of them that are watching, I see here, they did the work, right? They gave it 110% because I share how to do it in my programs and I give them the tools and the techniques. And now when one arises, automatically they're like, oh, I've got that spiritual tool bag. I know exactly where to go, exactly what to do, and I'm going to heal this. And just because we're healing, say in a program or say in a session package with me or something like that, it doesn't mean that it fixes it forever. Because there's layers upon layers upon layers, especially if things happen to you in your childhood and it has been years. And here, like I'm 50 years old, like if you haven't healed and you're my age, you've got a lot of layers to start releasing, start healing, and start moving forward. So I'm just going to give you one example. Say your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is this area here. Let me show you the image. It's blue. So as you can see right here, the fifth chakra is your throat chakra. And it comes out the back and it comes out the front. I actually just was teaching about this with my private coaching clients this morning. So there's lots of ways that you can start healing your throat chakra. But the first key is to recognize like what's going on. If you had no other tools to figure out if your throat chakra was off, here is, I don't know, for lack of a better word, the temperature gauge of how to figure out what's going on, right? So let me know in the comments if any of these things are affecting you. Maybe you're experiencing TMJ in your jaw, right? You're a clencher. Maybe you clench while you sleep at night and your jaw hurts a lot. Maybe your jaw's popping, okay? That's a sign that your throat chakra needs some love and some healing. Swollen glands in your throat. Maybe you are experiencing throat cancer. Neck problems. Are you constantly reaching back and messing with your neck? Are you having problems with your neck? Maybe you're actually having teeth pain, something going on with your teeth. You know, you're constantly having to go in to have something worked on with your teeth. And hello. Hi, Sherry. 2 times breast cancer, stage 2, 32-year-old. Oh, Sherry, gosh darn it. Yeah, I had breast cancer too. That was, my heart chakra was out of whack. And so back to the jaw, like maybe your teeth are having troubles. Maybe you're constantly having to go to the dentist and they're like, well, I don't know why there's pain, right? Or maybe there's sores in your mouth, or problem with your tongue. Maybe you're breaking out. Here we are, you know, in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you think, okay, we are not going to be breaking out in acne on our face anymore, right? Well, sometimes if you're breaking out in acne on your face, there's something else going on. And so if it is from about here down, that can be a sign. There could be other reasons too, so we have to rule them out, but that could be a sign that your throat chakra is needing some love, needing some healing, needing some cleansing, needing some clearing. We've got to balance that up, right? It's a constant, it's like a preventative maintenance. It's like going to your dentist every 6 months. It's, you know, we want to do this on a regular basis so that you can be in balance. Some other issues, thyroid cancer, thyroid issues, hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, chronic sinus problems, stuff going wrong with your voice, your throat, your teeth, your gums, and also sometimes even like drainage in your ears can have an issue. And those are all some signs that it's a possibility that your throat chakra is needing some love. And where do we begin? Where do we begin? Well, for one, I would highly suggest journaling, because to me, if your throat chakra is out of whack and out of balance, you're probably not able to speak your truth. So whatever that situation is that you're in, whether it's at work or with a relationship with a spouse, you are probably, more often than not, possibly walking on eggshells, possibly swallowing, biting your tongue, whatever you want to say. You're having a hard time saying what you really need, right? And how many of you does that sound familiar with? You're probably angry, right? And so journaling is going to be huge. Getting it out. Don't bottle it up. Write it down, get it out, scream in a pillow if you need to, scream no. Tell the pillow exactly how you feel, right? If you're in a space where you can yell and scream in a pillow, get it out. Because when we hold it in and hold it in and hold it in, that's when you're going in to have your thyroid removed, or that's when you're going in to have throat cancer. You know, this stuff can manifest into worse things in your body. It shows up in the body because it hasn't been dealt with. It shows up in the body because there's an emotional something that needs healed. And when we can heal on an emotional level, the vibrational frequency shifts and it moves through the body, and then the body can start healing as well. But if we get in a habit where it's like preventative maintenance and we're healing and balancing and cleansing and clearing on a regular basis, I'm not saying every day or every week, but when we're in a habit of doing that, our body has a better chance of not falling into some form of illness, right? Our body has a better chance of staying young, right? Like the craziest thing is we have the power to heal. We have the power to actually, what I've heard, it's called youthing. We don't have to age, right? So if we can really get into the vibrational frequency of this healing on a cellular level, we can actually start looking and feeling like we are going backwards in time and youthing. So we could be 80 years old and look like we're 60 or 50, right? So we got to start now. Now, like, time is of the essence. And I saw, what was that? Time is non-refundable. One of my clients posted a meme about that today, and I thought, that is such a great meme. Time is non-refundable. So the time is now. We've got to start now. We're not getting any younger. And for goodness sakes, we don't want to go out of this world with our body riddled with problems. This body has got to be our vehicle to get us through to doing what our soul came here to do. So journaling is key. If you love crystals, you could always find some blue crystals like lapis or different color. There's turquoise. Turquoise is really good. And find crystals to wear on your person. Maybe you can find a necklace where you can hang a crystal right here near your throat. Maybe you can wear a blue scarf. The other thing is if you're going to be giving a speech or speaking in public or speaking and you're nervous, you could wear some blue jewelry and a blue scarf, and that can help you speak your truth. And it's all wonderful. It's like a vibrational frequency, color healing, crystal healing. All of it is working in combination with you. Does that heal everything? Not necessarily, but it's a big start. Like, these are just some keys that are a big start. Sherry says, very familiar. Learn not to trust many. Consequent, 50 years old. Sherry, I'm so glad you're here. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm paraphrasing. Glad you're here. So one of the things too, besides journaling and color healing and crystal healing, you can also look into sound healing. But getting to a place where you're speaking your truth, right? And it can be very scary if you're in a situation where maybe it's a very dominated situation where you can't. And again, I want to make sure that you're safe when you're speaking your truth. I also want to encourage you to have compassion and love when you're speaking your truth, and trying to come from a place of not attacking the other person, but really standing in your true authentic power with that compassion and that love, and say something to the effect that I really need XYZ, right? I really need whatever that is. And I want you to feel when you recognize that you have spoken your truth and you normally don't, or normally not able to, I want you to recognize what your body feels like when you're able to do that, how it's going to feel more relaxed. So that is a little bit about chakras, and more poignantly about your throat chakra. And so there's many of us that go through life and we have these amazing corporate jobs. We're managers, we're a rock star on the corporate level, and then we get home and something shifts and we can't speak our truth at home, right? We go into our shell. And I'm speaking from experience because of my first marriage. And so I would go into my shell. I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't react. I wouldn't even look at him, right? We were in this marriage for so long, and it was toxic. And it was better for us to get out. We were like oil and water, but it took us a long time to get to that point. And so when my throat chakra was closed off then too, I was a rock star at my job. I was sales and marketing manager at a title and escrow company. I was making the most money I'd ever made in my life. And I was getting awards and walking across stage and being flown to Canada and flown to Vegas and getting awards on stage. And I was a rock star at work, but I would come home and I was walking on eggshells. I didn't hardly speak. I didn't talk. I looked down. And it wasn't a good environment. And so I wasn't able to speak my truth. And I will never forget when I finally said, enough is enough and I got to get out. Like, my body just finally released all of this stress. And when I did get out, my gosh, I was the heaviest that I'd ever gotten. And I don't recommend this, but within 3 months, I lost like 4 dress sizes. Like all of this stuff that was protecting me, I was putting weight on to protect myself, right? And so the body does funny things to try to protect yourself. And so I was putting all this weight on as a protection mechanism, like keep people away, keep him away, right? And whew, all that weight just disappeared. And I was finally able to be me. And I remember my daughter saying to me one day, she says, "Mom, you're so kooky." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And she goes, "Well, you were never like this with Dad." And I was floored. Like my daughter recognized that I was not myself. And I thought I was staying in a marriage because it was the best for my daughter, and it wasn't. And I said, "Well, wow, this is who I really am. This is who I really am." And she's like, "You're really funny." And I just laughed, and I was just like crying at the same time because I hadn't been myself and I wasn't able to speak my truth. My throat chakra was closed off. My heart chakra was closed off. So I encourage you, if you're in a similar situation, to be able to stand in your true authentic self, because you came here for a purpose, to light that God light, stand in your power, help do amazing things in this world. And one is to be your true authentic self. And when you are not balanced and things are cattywampus and out of whack, you're going to be struggling, and it's going to be hard to be happy because something is always triggering you. Something's always going to be like, what is going on? And you'll retract and retract and retract the more things are out of whack. So if you're ready to get happy, you're ready to jump in and figure out what needs healing so that you can be that true authentic self, private message me. I would love to set up a call with you and see if we could work together. This is amazing. My clients, they might not be like you, but they are amazing. They give it 110%. They do everything I teach them, and their lives are truly changed. Super excited to talk to you. Angel blessings. Till next time.